A man stands at a checkout with a basket of basic groceries, bread, milk, eggs, nothing expensive, nothing unusual. He taps his card and it gets declined. He pauses for a second, tries again, declined again. He quickly unlocks his phone, opens his banking app, moves money between accounts, waits a few seconds, and tries again. This time it works. He pays, takes his bag, and leaves like nothing happened. But that moment already shows the full picture. There was no control, no margin, no plan. Just a system that only works as long as nothing goes wrong. Situations like this don't look serious from the outside. No one stops, no one reacts, no one even remembers it a few minutes later. But this is exactly how financial problems actually look in real life. Not dramatic, not loud, not obvious, just small signals repeating over time until they become normal behavior. Another real situation, end of the month, salary already came in, all main bills are paid, rent, utilities, subscriptions, everything seems fine, nothing critical happened. But when you look at what is left, it is almost nothing, and there is no clear reason for it. No big purchase, no mistake, no single decision you can point to. Just money slowly disappearing without control. This is where the first sign appears. You don't know exactly where your money goes. You have a rough idea, but not precise numbers. You assume things, you guess things, but you don't actually see the full picture. And without clear numbers, there is no real control because you cannot manage what you do not clearly see. The second sign is even quieter. You start avoiding your balance. Not completely. You still check it sometimes, but there is always a small delay, a small hesitation before opening the app, right? You already expect something you don't want to see, and that reaction alone is a signal that something is wrong. The third sign feels logical, and that is why it is dangerous. You tell yourself you will fix everything later. Later, you will start saving. Later, you will organize your finances. Later, you will get serious about money. And this sounds reasonable because right now does not feel like the right time, but the problem is later keeps repeating and nothing changes. The fourth sign is stress from small things, not big events, just small everyday problems, a simple repair, a slightly higher bill, a delay in income. These things should not break your system, but they do. They force you to adjust everything else, to shift payments, to delay decisions, to react instead of plan. When you look at these signs separately, they don't seem serious. Nothing feels like a crisis, but together they form a pattern. And patterns are what actually define your financial reality. Not single events, not one bad decision, but repeated behavior over time. One of the biggest mistakes is thinking the problem is income. It feels obvious. More money would solve everything, and in some cases it helps, but if the system stays the same, the result stays the same. More money just makes the pattern less visible for a while, but it does not remove it. There are people who earn more, but still feel the same pressure. Still reach the end of the month with almost nothing. Still depend on everything going perfectly. That's because the core issue was never the amount. It was the structure behind their decisions. Another mistake is ignoring small gaps, not creating any buffer. Without a buffer, your system becomes fragile. Every unexpected situation becomes a risk, and life is full of unexpected situations. So the pressure never disappears. It just waits for the next problem. If fixing this does not require something complicated, it requires something most people avoid. Clarity. You need to see your situation fully, not approximately, not roughly, but clearly. Exact income, exact expenses, exact balance. This removes uncertainty and changes how you think about every decision. The next step is creating space. Even a small buffer changes everything. It reduces pressure. It gives you time. It allows you to make decisions without panic. And that alone improves outcomes because most bad financial decisions come from urgency, not from logic. Then comes consistency, not big actions, not extreme changes, just repeated simple actions. Tracking, spending, setting limits, keeping a small margin, these things look small, but over time, they completely change the system. The difference between people who feel in control and people who don't is not intelligence, not luck, not even income. It is whether they have a system that can handle small problems without breaking, because problems will always happen. The question is whether your system survives them. Most people think they're fine because today nothing is wrong. But financial stability is not about today. It is about what happens when something changes. And if a small change can break everything, then the system was never stable. Recognizing these signs early is not a negative thing. It is an advantage. It gives you time to fix the system before it becomes a real problem. Because once the pressure becomes visible, fixing it becomes much harder. The solution is simple, but not easy. See your numbers clearly, create a small buffer, stay consistent, and stop delaying, because delay is what keeps the pattern alive and repeating. Subscribe and start building a system that works even when things go wrong.